Hello and welcome back to Paladins Guides. I'm your host, Ghesswho, and today we are going to be discussing a few tips that will help you improve your gameplay as a damage champion in Paladins. Before we jump into it, I'd like to take a moment and welcome you to the channel if you're new. On this channel you can expect to find guides on all things Paladins. If you have a specific request, be sure to leave me a comment and I will definitely take it into consideration. If you have more questions for me to answer or you'd just like to hang out and talk, then you can feel free to visit me on my stream. There's a link in the description below. In this guide, we will go over the three most important aspects of the damage class: positioning, target priority, and item purchases. We will also touch on which champions are strongest for the damage role in the current meta, and if you'd like help with specific champion builds and how to play them, just let me know and I will do my best to make a guide on it. To start things off, positioning is a huge component of playing the damage role. Although I personally still have a lot of work to do in this area as well, I can provide some valuable feedback to help you get started and improve your gameplay. When positioning is the damage role, you should be thinking, is this going to get me killed? Although this may sound a little silly, it can go a long way in preventing you from dying when you shouldn't. You should always be considering how many people are alive on your team compared to how many people are alive on the opposition. If you're down a man, play a little more passively and position yourself to make it hard to get to you. If you're up a man, push forward and attempt to zone your enemies away from the objective. As a general rule of thumb, you should always be positioning yourself either side by side or behind your tank. This will ensure that you are not going to be the only focus in the fight. It will also allow for your tank to provide you with valuable cover behind their shields or walls. I would love to be able to provide some more specific feedback. If you'd like to see a breakdown of a full game, either one of my own or perhaps one of your gameplays, let me know in the comments and I will definitely take it into consideration. My second tip for playing the damage role is to make sure you are prioritizing the right targets. This can be the key difference between winning a point fight and successfully pushing or not. You should be the champion on your team with the highest DPS, and therefore it is important for you to be focusing that damage in a meaningful way. Depending on the enemy team composition, your target priority should vary. However, you should be punishing anyone that steps out of position, such as an enemy flank diving into your backline or a tank pushing too far forward. It is your job to pressure the point while also dealing with the enemy squishies. You should be poking and prodding at the enemy, forcing them in whatever position will best serve you in the moment. In the current meta, which is commonly referred to as the burst meta, you can also choose to focus the enemy damage or flank or even the healer. It can oftentimes be more beneficial for you to focus squishy targets before applying pressure to the objective. It is important for you to be able to read the flow of a fight and determine where your damage would be the most impactful. The final tip that I have for you today is to make sure you are purchasing the best items for the situation. This can make a large difference in the pace and flow of a fight. If the enemy team is running a double shield composition, you should buy Wrecker in the beginning of the game. You generally only need to purchase 2 points in Wrecker to make a large impact. Champions that have a low fire rate and a lot of damage per hit, such as Sha Lin, Cassie, Bomb King, or Willow, will be able to use Wrecker more effectively. I say this because Wrecker deals 75, 150, and 225% increased damage to shields at levels 1, 2, and 3 respectively, meaning higher base damage will receive more value. Learning to identify which defensive cards you require in a given situation could be the difference between living and dying. You should almost always purchase Cauterize on a damage champion. In the later stages of the game, shutting down the healing of the enemy's support becomes very influential. Considering that Cauterize lasts for 1.5 seconds and can reduce the effects of healing up to 90% at max level, characters with a high rate of fire such as Victor or Tyra are amazing at constantly reapplying Cauterize. Champions that deal AoE damage, such as Willow and Bomb King, can help to apply Cauterize to a group of people and can be particularly strong versus team compositions that want to stack up on the point. If you're being stunned, silenced, feared, or crippled, consider buying Resilience to reduce the effects of the crowd control. If you're being focused by hit scan, buying Haven can help reduce the amount of damage you take. Most of the item optimization will come in time, learning the nuances of all the characters and being able to identify what is going to help protect you. There are 3 items that I would say you should almost never buy on the damage roll, 2 of which, Veteran and Deft Hands, I would say you should almost never buy in general. Deft Hands has some very niche uses and can be helpful, however, if you aren't playing Dredge with the Scuttle talent, then you really shouldn't be buying Deft Hands. The other item that you probably shouldn't purchase on a damage champion is Kill to Heal. The amount of healing received in the late game versus Cauterize will be so minimal that it will basically be a waste of credits. At max level, Kill to Heal provides you with 900 health for an elimination. If you're being affected by max level Cauterize, it will provide you with a total of 90 health for an elimination. If you really want to buy a healing item, consider buying Rejuvenate if your healer is paying attention to you. Otherwise, buy Life Rip. This will provide you with more self-sustain during a fight rather than after a fight. As I mentioned earlier, we are currently blessed with the burst meta, which is absolutely loved by the whole community. If you'd like to become competitive in Paladins and be able to climb the ranked ladder, it may be a good idea for you to become proficient with a couple of the following champions. Willow, who will most likely be banned, but on the off chance she isn't, you should know how to play her. Cassie, who has always been known for her ability to burst and be able to adapt her builds and playstyle to suit the needs of the team. And Leon, who has a huge impact with the Imminence talent, which can allow you to burst a target from a distance with incredible accuracy. These are some of the best damage champions in the current meta. Of course, this is mostly just my opinion and the opinion of the majority of the community. I really hope that this guide helps you with your reign of terror in the realm. If you enjoyed the video or even found it mildly helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future guides and Paladins content. As I mentioned before, if you'd like to chat with me, you can check out my stream on Mixer. I stream from 1 to 5 p.m. PDT on the weekdays. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will catch you on the next one.